Alright, hello everyone. Today we'll be looking at the middle little brother Sinclair. This character is a very solid stepping stone to the future Big Brother team with the full-on Envy middle gang, right? So this character, the passive, very powerful stuff. You have maximum of 10 stacks and you can generate 5 here and 2 plus additional 3 here if they are from the middle. So Vendetta Mark can go up to 20% extra damage for the middle, and that is a very significant buff for all of the other middle characters, especially since Vendetta Mark at turn end will become a sibling Vengeance Mark for the purposes of final power and coin power for middle Assault and Dawn respectively. So very good stuff here for this passive. Definitely a must run in the future NV team. And since this character needs the middle to get the additional 3 stacks, you need to have middle characters to give her 10 Vendetta stacks. After attacking with base attack skills or counter skills, consume all Vendetta Mark on the target, and every time the target consumes Vendetta Mark, you gain Book of Vengeance Sinclair. So that's another reason why you really want to have ally from the middle for these 3 stacks here, because then you can get 5/5 for a total of 10, so that if Sinclair punches the person with 10 Vendetta Mark, he gets 10 stacks of this, which immediately will give him the blunt damage up next turn, and also gives him 10% more damage equal to the stack, which is going to be 10 stacks, so 10%. You can go up to 30%. With additional stacks, you get max speed and gain power up, and you also gain 2 blunt damage up. So you can get 30% blunt damage increase here, and you can also get 30% more damage over here. Quite a good buff actually. So that's like 60% damage to every single one of your skills. And you can also get additional 20% here when you're initially punching them before you eat the mark. And your skill tree also scales based on the Book of Vengeance. So it's 30 here, right? Then you also have another 30 here, 45 here. So in total that's 30, 60, 90, 90 plus 45. 90 plus 45 is going to be 135. And then you also have the 10% here and then another 20% here for a 175% in total on this skill tree. Very powerful stuff. And you also have Vendetta Mark, so I think it's like 185 or 195, I can't remember already. It's so much math here. But basically this skill tree hits like a truck. And even though the multiplier is not as high as some other characters, it is 3 coins, so it's a lot of damage. And it also has coin power +1 for every 6 bleed, so we didn't even include this part. And you can use this skill every single turn, because your defense will transform into the skill 3 and skill 2 as long as you can get a resonance into the party. So very powerful character, and you basically can treat your skill 1 like it doesn't exist, because your skill 1, it's actually not that impressive, and you can basically use your defense to transform it into a skill 2 and skill 3. So these 3 stacks of skill 1s here, you can pretend like it doesn't exist. Basically, you can transform it into this and transform it into this, making this ×1 become like ×6 instead if you have a full team of Envy Resonance every single turn. Very powerful stuff here. So even though the initial burst damage of this skill tree is not very high, it's compensated by the fact that you're doing this every single turn, and every time you do it, remember you're stacking. And when you hit max stacks and use this skill tree, it's gonna hurt like a truck. Really powerful stuff. And the counter actually gives you a 30% missing HP shield, which is absolutely massive with a 245 HP character, right? Once he gets staggered, he basically can just keep using this skill here to become practically immortal. It's like, oh, I dropped to 20% HP, 30% just means I basically half HP the entire time. It's just kind of ridiculous. You basically get a massive shield. It's Dichi Rodion levels of stupidity already. Once you get to low HP, you basically are a Dichi Rodion character. Very hard to kill, and if you just have a little bit of healing for maybe some statuses that maybe burn you down really fast, you are basically able to stay on the field for the whole run, basically. Yeah, and this, I assume, is going to be something that you will see on the future Big Brother as well, so that's going to be insanely powerful. Right now, the only one that will struggle from countering all the time is going to be Dawn, because Dawn doesn't generate any shielding for herself. But this Sinclair with this thing here, very nice stuff here. And I think he also has a Cavernous Wailing Eagle, so if you really need to, just pop that for even more shielding. So it's just really funny. This character, really powerful, being able to convert skill 1s into 2s and 3s, and also gets a bunch of damage multipliers onto these passives over here. Really powerful stuff. Right, Sinclair is going to be a very good stepping stone for the future team comp. You definitely will run something like a Pequod Harpooner with middle Dawn, with middle Sinclair, with middle Assault. Yes, middle Assault is actually going to be better than Blade Lineage, by the way, because of the multipliers, and with the Vengeance Mark and all of that other stuff, I believe he outdamages Blade Lineage Assault by, was it 2% or something like that? It was like a really minor amount, but you actually out-damaged this guy here, and I don't think that calculation included like Regret Assault into it. With Regret Assault, I believe you actually do a lot more damage than the Blade Lineage Assault. But whatever the case is, right now the middle team is only 4 characters, and then you need to kind of like cope a little bit and take some characters from different areas. Multi-crack is not bad. You have Envy on guard and skill 2, and the Envy guard actually gives you charge count, so you can actually consume it with the skill 2 later on. So not too bad of a flow for the team. And then Red Eyes has skill 1 Envy for easy resonance, and then your counter allows you to get hit and you can help to feed some stacks to them. And then after that, I kind of couldn't find any other significant character. Maybe Rodion was okay, her skill 2 is Envy and she doesn't mind getting hit, and she's also blunt damage focused. But yeah, the problem with not having middle characters is that you will not be able to get the extra 3 stacks, so that's going to be quite shit. Right, so all of this stuff over here is relatively okay. It's just not going to compare to whatever the Big Brother is going to bring in the next season. So I will definitely recommend getting the Sinclair eventually, but not now. The reason being is that this is a standard character. There is really no rush to get him. He will be here forever, just like this Sangdon over here. I will eventually claim them, but I don't have to claim them this season. I can claim them next season or the season after that, or I can wait for the Big Brother to come out first, and then I go and pick him up. So for now, Sinclair will be sitting on this bench over here, and then once the Ricardo comes out or whatever, I will go and pick up that ID, and then we will see how it works out later on. Alright, so that's going to be it here. This banner generally, you are not going to be pulling because it is only a single ID banner. It is definitely not worth. You might as well wait for at least 2 things to appear on the banner, and both things are rate up, then you can go ahead and try to go and pull that. Alright, so that's going to be all of the stuff that I had to say. If I missed anything, feel free to let me know, and if you have your own little fancy team comps for this Envy Copium team until Big Brother comes, then feel free to comment down below. Alright, see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.